So one of the challenges of a solo act or a duo act, depending on how you're performing at the moment, is the rhythm section and how you can fill out your sound. I personally have never been one to use backing tracks. Now I'm talking specifically solo or duo work. If you only have backing tracks to fill out that rhythm section, perfect, do what works for you. Personally, I've never really enjoyed playing with backing tracks, and I much prefer either percussive slaps on the guitar, filling that sound out with looping, or using a drum machine. Now this particular example today, I'm using, can you see? Oh yeah, here. Now for this particular example today, I'm using the Akai MPC One. Akai, depends where you're from, right? I'm using the MPC One, which is my drum machine of choice. Now this particular drum machine could use an entire video on its own. If you would like to see an entire video just on the MPC One, please hit me up in the comments section, let me know what you'd like to see. This is an absolute beast of a machine which I incorporate drums, keys, synth bass, you name it, it can do it. It's a pretty incredible machine. But for my simple brain, when it comes to looping, I use this for basic loops into my Boss RC600, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Also in the comment section, I'd love to know what drum machine you're using. If you use something for finger tapping, if you are using backing tracks, if you do have a third member or a trio where you've got someone using percussion, insert drummer jokes here. Share with everyone else what you're using and what's working for you. I'm not using this with a MIDI connection. I just find that I much prefer to go by the feel of the song and tap in what rhythm I want that to be. Is that perfect? Absolutely not. And that's the part of performing live, I guess. If you want perfect, you could do it to a backing track. I want to have that feel of the rhythm section and what that's feeling for me. With a MIDI clock, that would sync between, but it doesn't do what I actually want it to do, which is make sure that it's controlling the loops and I can actually tap that in as I go. How I actually break this down onto the RC600, I'm going to show you here on the pedal board below. I'll build the tracks. Track one will be hi-hat, percussion on the guitar, some clicks or some claps, not sure, depends where it takes me. Track two will usually be kick drum and snare. Track three will be guitar, sometimes bass on track two to go with the kick drum, or track three depending on the flavor. And then on the RC600 I've got tracks 4, 5 and 6 to add as many layers as I want. Most importantly here, and compositionally, it also means I can take away layers, and this is why I love to add different drum sounds on different tracks so you can really build it up and bring it back down. And what I'll do on the example, I'll probably show you what that means taking out a track so you hear just the guitar and the click, as in the clicks, not the click track. Taking out a track so you just hear the drums, taking out a track so you just hear the guitar with the bass and snare, just to see what the options are. In a live situation, this gives you that variety of playing with a band, but at the touch of your feet. Here's an example of what it means to put all of this together. Something to add, and the reason why I chose the MPC One is it's a standalone unit. Now what that means are all of the sounds are actually loaded into this drum machine, so I'm not having to take a laptop around with me. That's a big thing for me. I've got enough to worry about with the PA, guitar, looper pedal, pedal board, cables, microphones, sound check, everything else. I'm really not interested in taking around a laptop. Some people do that amazingly. There's some phenomenal loopers out there who hook up their laptops and can do that through Ableton Live or use a MIDI controller from there. That's just my preference. I like to be doing it in a standalone unit, everything in the one spot, and I don't have to worry about it. I hope that gives you some inspiration for your live performances and how you could incorporate a drum machine. If this video helped you out at all, please like and subscribe, comment below with what your setup is. Really appreciate you watching. See you soon.